We are literally weeks away from a brand new iPhone, and the excitement is absolutely electric right now. If you have been holding on to your wallet, waiting for that perfect budget-friendly Apple device, the moment is almost here. We're talking about the iPhone 17e. This phone is expected to drop in late February or early March 2026, and the hype is building fast. Everyone loves a good deal, and Apple knows that. For years, people have been asking for a modern-looking iPhone that does not cost an arm and a leg, and it looks like we're finally getting close to that reality. But before you get too excited and start planning your pre-order, you need to hear this because there are some serious details you need to know first. There is one major feature that might be a complete deal breaker for you, and it is something that has the entire tech community arguing right now. A new report just dropped, and it confirms that Apple is making a controversial decision that feels like we are stuck in the past. Today, we are going to break down everything you need to know about the iPhone 17e. We're going to cover the good, the bad, and the ugly, so you do not make a mistake with your hard-earned money. Let's start with the bad news because it is the elephant in the room, and we need to address it immediately. We all know that screens are the most important part of a smartphone. It is the thing you look at all day, every single day. Whether you're checking emails, scrolling through social media, or watching videos, the display is your window to the digital world. Last September, Apple finally brought their 120Hz promotion technology to the standard iPhone 17 models. We all celebrated that moment. It felt like a huge victory for consumers. We thought, finally, 60 Hz is dead. We assumed that the budget-friendly iPhone 17 would follow suit, and we would never have to talk about slow refresh rates again. Well, according to a reliable report from the Leaker digital chat station on Weibo, that is simply not happening. The iPhone 17e is sticking with a 60 Hz display. Yes, you heard that right. In 2026, a brand new iPhone will still have a 60 Hz refresh rate. If you have used a Pro iPhone or basically any Android phone from the last 3 years, you know exactly why this is a problem. 60 Hz feels choppy. It feels slow. It just isn't as smooth when you scroll through Instagram or browse the web. You can actually see the stuttering if you look closely, especially if you are used to a faster screen. The report says the iPhone 17e will use a 6.1-inch LTPS OLED display. Now, to be fair, it will look good in terms of colors. It will be sharp, the blacks will be perfect because it is OLED, and the contrast will be amazing. But it won't feel as fast as the other phones in the iPhone 17 lineup. When you touch the screen, there will be that tiny fraction of a second delay that makes the phone feel older than it actually is. This is a deliberate move by Apple. They're not doing this because they can't put a faster screen in. They're doing it to protect their lineup. They have to keep a gap between their cheap phones and their expensive ones. Think about it from their perspective. If the iPhone 17 had a 120Hz screen, almost nobody would buy the regular iPhone 17. Why would you pay hundreds of dollars more just for an extra camera lens if the screen looked exactly the same? They need to protect their profit margins, even if it disappoints us tech enthusiasts. So, if you're sensitive to screen smoothness, this might be a huge letdown. It is definitely the biggest criticism this phone is facing right now. But wait, don't click away yet because it is not all bad news. In fact, there's a massive design upgrade coming that might make you forgive the screen speed entirely. The report claims that the iPhone 17e is finally ditching the old-school notch. If you look at the current budget model, the iPhone 16e, it still has that cutout at the top of the screen. It looks dated. It looks like a phone from 5 years ago. But the iPhone 17e is getting the dynamic island. This is the same interactive pill-shaped cutout found on the flagship models. This is huge for the budget market. It means your cheap iPhone will look exactly like a modern premium iPhone from the front. You get the live activities, the music controls, the timer animations, and that sleek modern aesthetic that everyone wants. It is a major facelift that makes this phone feel much more current. When you pull this phone out of your pocket, nobody is going to know you bought the cheap one. It blends in perfectly with the rest of the 2026 lineup. This unification of design is something we have been waiting for, and it really elevates the status of the E series. Now, let's talk about power because this is where the iPhone 17e is actually going to be a beast. Usually, when you buy a budget phone, you expect compromises. You expect a processor that is a year or two old. But Apple is reportedly going all out this time. The leaks suggest the iPhone 17e will be powered by the A19 processor. This is the latest and greatest silicon from Apple. It is the same level of performance you would expect from a top-tier device. This means the phone will be incredibly fast. It will handle high-end gaming, complex video editing, and heavy multitasking without breaking a sweat. You are getting flagship-level speeds for a fraction of the price. More importantly, having an A19 chip means this phone will last for years. You will get iOS updates for a very long time. It is rare to see a budget phone with a flagship processor, but that is the Apple strategy. They want to hook you into their ecosystem with a device that runs smoothly for 5 or 6 years. They want you to buy this phone and keep it until 2031 or 2032. That kind of longevity is basically unheard of in the budget Android market, and it is a massive selling point for the iPhone 17e. On the back of the phone, things are staying simple. The report mentions a single-lens rear camera. In a world where phones have 3 or 4 cameras, one might seem lacking. We are so used to seeing massive camera bumps with multiple lenses staring back at us. But let's be honest with ourselves for a second. For most people, the main camera is the only one they use. How often do you really use the ultra-wide? How often do you really use the telephoto zoom? Most of the time, you just pull out your phone, point, and shoot. By sticking to one really good lens, Apple keeps the cost down without sacrificing quality on the shots that matter most. You will still get great photos, likely with all of Apple's computational photography magic. We are talking about smart HDR, deep fusion, and maybe even some new AI features powered by that A19 chip. The A19 is going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting here, processing every pixel to make sure your photos look professional. It won't have an ultra-wide or zoom lens, so you won't be taking pictures of birds far away or wide landscapes, but it will take crisp, reliable shots of your friends, your family, and your pets. And of course, Face ID is there for security, tucked neatly into that new dynamic island, so unlocking your phone and paying for things will be just as secure and convenient as ever. So, when can you actually buy this thing? The report points to a release in the first half of the year. Based on Apple's history, we can make a very educated guess. I am expecting Apple to unveil the iPhone 17e in late February. Pre-orders will likely go live immediately, with the phone hitting store shelves in early March 2026. This timing is perfect for Apple. It gives them a sales boost in the quiet spring months and offers a fresh option for people who don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone right after the holidays. It fills that gap perfectly between the big September launches. Here is my honest opinion on the iPhone 17e. It is a mixed bag, but a smart one. The 60Hz screen is disappointing. There is no sugarcoating that. In 2026, 60 Hz feels ancient. It feels like technology we should have left behind years ago. However, for the target audience, people who just want a reliable iPhone that works, they probably won't notice. They aren't comparing refresh rates or reading spec sheets. They will see the dynamic island, they will feel the speed of the A19 chip, and they will love the lower price tag. They will see a phone that looks new and acts fast. It is predicted to be the cheapest iPhone available, and analysts expect sales to be very strong. It is the perfect entry point into the Apple ecosystem or a great upgrade for someone coming from an iPhone 11 or 12. If you can live without the super smooth scrolling, this phone is going to be an incredible value. But if you're a gamer or a tech nerd who cares about frame rates, you might want to save up for the regular iPhone 17. What do you guys think? Is a 60Hz screen a deal breaker for you in 2026, or do the A19 chip and dynamic island make up for it? I really want to know where you stand on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video and want to stay updated on all things tech, make sure to subscribe, share this video with your friends, and hit that bell icon so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.